Welcome to the Central Texas Huddle on Lone Star Gridiron. I'm your host, Tony Blaylock. I'll be back with the action for Central Texas high school football right after these messages.
With open enrollment coming soon for Medicare, ACA, Obamacare, and small group plans for businesses with less than 100 employees, if you're in need of health insurance solutions, look no further than HAP Insurance Agency. Yes, HAP Insurance Agency is a fantastic resource right in the heart of College Station, Texas. Whether you're in retirement, a business owner, or simply looking for the best health coverage option, HAP Insurance Agency has got you covered. You can find them in College Station at 1551 Greens Prairie Road West, Suite 101A, or give Holly Pritchard a call at 972-897-0814. That's HAP Insurance Agency.
Looking to boost your company's marketing? Look no further than Fresh MediaWorks. Podcasting is the best way to promote your brand and increase your customer base. You can create your own show, be a guest on other podcasts, or advertise on existing podcasts to reach a valuable audience. Don't wait. Start elevating your marketing game today with Fresh MediaWorks. Call now, 713-269-4620, or find us online at freshmediaworks.com/podcasting.
I want to thank HAP Insurance of College Station, Fresh MediaWorks, and Non-East Sweeterside for their sponsorship of the Central Texas Huddle. Well, this past week was the regional semifinal week and lots of action to talk about, so let's get right into it. We'll start off in 6A D1, where Lake Travis bested San Antonio Brenham 34-7. For Lake Travis, Chasen Ditta was 6 of 19 for 148 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Nico Hamilton had 27 carries for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cole Munnerlin had 2 receptions for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, Easton Arid and Everett Underhill had 7 tackles apiece, and Easton Arid added a fumble recovery. The opposite game, these two team winners will play. Westlake took down Laredo United 59-14. For the Chaparrals, it was Reese Wise, who was 8 of 10 passing for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jack Kaiser had 10 carries for 90 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brody Wilhelm had 4 receptions for 90 yards. On the defensive side, Will Sloan had 3 sacks and 3 chaps added interceptions. That was Ty Ingram-Iser, Mason Laster, and Colin Egg. In the 6A D2 ranks, it was still over Harlan, 48-27. For Steele, it was Chad Warner, who was 20 of 28 for 281 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he added 43 yards rushing. Royal Capel had 6 receptions for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. Andrew Buck added 13 tackles on the defensive side of the ball. Dante Carter had an interception, and Pierce Kempe had a fumble recovery. In the other 6A D2 regional semifinal, Dripping Springs took down San Antonio J 50-27. For the Tigers, it was Jack Williams, who was 14 of 19 passing for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jason Gata had 20 carries for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cal Koch had 5 receptions for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Reed had 6 receptions for 101 yards and 1 touchdown. On the defensive side of the ball, Noah Dahl and Elijah Gonzalez had 6 tackles apiece, and Rio Hay had 1 sack. In 5A D1, A&M Consolidated took the early 14-0 lead. Then Cedar Park scored to cut the lead to 14-6 when a sequence of plays occurred that exemplified Consolidated special teams dominance in this game. Cedar Park's PAT was blocked by Trace Meadows and returned for 2 points for the Tigers by Ethan Walton. Then Trey Taylor returned the ensuing kickoff 74 yards for a touchdown, and suddenly A&M Consolidated led 23-6. Then we moved into the third quarter, and on the opening kickoff of the second half, Meadows returned the kick 80 yards for a touchdown and a 30-6 A&M Consolidated Tiger lead, and A&M Consolidated goes on to a 44-20 win on the strength mainly of special teams play, winning 44-20 over Cedar Park.
Do you have a party coming up or just want a special gift? Check out Nani's Sweeter Side. Yes, Nani's Sweeter Side makes the most amazing custom created sugar cookies with your design. They also offer paint your own cookies and decorate your own cookies. Those make an excellent sweet activity that you can sink your teeth into at parties. Nani's also offers some of the most amazing cupcakes ever. You can check out Nani's Sweeter Side at nanisweeterside.com. That's N-A-N-I. Check her out on Facebook. Just look for Nani's Sweeter Side. Or give her a call at 937-499-4790. At Nani's Sweeter Side, you'll find that happiness is homemade.
Hey, did you play Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, the Brotherhood of Texas High School Football. All football players, past and present, who have ever suited up in the Lone Star State are eligible. Go to LoneStarGridiron.com/brotherhood. And thank you for the part you played in the greatest sport in the greatest state.
Go to the other College Station team. Smithson Valley was taking on College Station. Smithson Valley led 19-7 at the half. College Station's Jason Bellows returned an interception to the Smithson Valley 6. And from there, quarterback Arrington Maiden cashes in to cut the lead to 19-14, less than 2 minutes into the third quarter. Smithson Valley extended the lead to 26-14 midway through the third. College Station cuts the lead again to 26-21 with 1:36 left in the third. College Station was then driving early in the fourth and had a second and goal from the Smithson Valley 8, but that drive ended on an interception in the end zone, and Smithson Valley escapes with a 26-21 win. In 5A D2, it was San Antonio Piper and Alamo Heights. Piper trailed at the half but rallied to win the Wild shootout over the Mules 53-46. For Piper, it was Jake South, who was 25 of 39 for 368 yards with 6 touchdowns. John Hamilton had 11 carries for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Champagne had 9 receptions for 206 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris Vivens on the defensive side of the ball added 14 tackles, and Jordan Grant had an interception. Also in 5A D2, Liberty Hill takes down Flower Bluff 49-28. Noah Long had 15 carries for 188 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Ben Carter added 25 carries and 141 yards and 1 touchdown. On the defensive side of the ball, it was Samuel Knox with 8 tackles and 2 sacks. In 4A D1, we will talk about Stephenville and Salina. Salina kicks a field goal on the opening drive of the game to take a 3-0 lead. Score remained 3-0 into the third quarter when Stephenville broke out a trick play. Ryan Gafford pitched the ball to Tristan Gentry, who threw the ball back to Gafford, who scores for the touchdown, 11-yard touchdown, and a 7-3 lead, and that was all that Stephenville would need, as they only managed 172 yards total offense, but that 1 touchdown was enough for the 7-3 win. Hudson Butchie led the defense with 23 tackles, and Philip Wiggins recorded 3 sacks in the game. Mason Hayes and Briar Floyd each had an interception. Still in 4A D1, Davenport and Lavernia. Davenport takes down Lavernia 45-31. Tristan Hamlin was 20 of 36 for 284 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Barrett Fallon had 28 carries for 204 yards and 1 touchdown. And Dante Singletary had 3 receptions for 88 yards and a touchdown. In 4AD2, it was Wimberley 63, Ingleside 14. For the Texans, Cody Stover was 9 of 15 passing for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also added 16 carries for 176 yards and a touchdown. Olin O'Neill had 12 carries for 116 yards and 1 touchdown. Noah Birdsong had 4 receptions for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Zach Paddock had 2 interceptions. Also in 4AD2, Jasper takes down Cuero 28-7. And Sinton takes down Navarro 50-14. In 3AD1, Franklin was led by Jaden Jackson's 217 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. He also threw a 45-yard touchdown pass as the Lions prevail over Little River Academy 52-27. Lorena was led by Braylon Roberts with 211 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns as they bested Columbus 42-21. Blanco reached the regional final for the first time since 2014 when they lost to Newton in the state semifinal, and they did that by beating Goliad 43-0. In 3AD2, Colin Remzinski led Poth to a 26-7 victory over Lexington, scoring both of Poth's touchdowns. Elsewhere in 3AD2, it was Gunter 45-0 over Comanche, and Tidehaven takes down Rogers 56-21. In 2AD1, Marlin was led by Mario Harwood, 21 carries for 124 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. And Iari Key added 2 touchdowns and 92 yards on only 4 carries as Marlin best Tioga 46-14. Elsewhere in 2AD1, Ganado 50, Holland 22, and Merfurio best Weimar 42-14. In 2AD2, it was Mart 43, Deweyville 0. Dontrell Medlick threw for 196 yards and 3 touchdowns, and J.D. Bell ran for 125 yards and 1 touchdown. Falls City versus Bremond. Bremond scores with just under 2 minutes left in the game, but misses the PAT, and Falls City escapes with a 21-20 win. Braylon Johnson had 207 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for the Beavers. Chilton avenges their only loss of the season with a 45-0 win over Granger, as Granger is shut out in the playoffs for the first time since 1932. And those results set up the regional finals for this coming weekend. And in 6AD1, we will have Lake Travis versus Austin Westlake. It'll be Saturday at 2 o'clock in Pflugerville. In 6AD2, it will be Cibolo Still versus Dripping Springs, Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Alamo Dome. 5AD1, it will be A&M Consolidated versus Smithson Valley, Friday at 7 in Leander. 5AD2 is San Antonio Piper versus Liberty Hill, Saturday at 7 p.m. at Texas State. 4AD1 will be Davenport versus Port Lavaca Calhoun, Friday at 7 p.m. in the Alamo Dome. 4AD2 will be Wimberley versus Sinton, Friday at 7:30 at Southwest Legacy Stadium. 3AD1 will be Franklin versus Lorena, Friday at 7 p.m. in Georgetown. And Blanco will be taking on Edna, Friday at 7 p.m. in Bastrop. 3AD2, Poth will be taking on Tidehaven, Friday at 7 p.m. in Victoria. 2AD1, Marlin will be taking on Toller, Thursday at 7 in Midlothian. And 2AD2, it will be Mart versus Lovelady, Friday at 7 p.m. in Athens, and Fall City versus Chilton, Friday 7 p.m. in Buda. I want to thank Hap Insurance of College Station, Fresh Media Works, and Nani Sweeter Side for their sponsorship of the Central Texas Huddle. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll go over the results from the regional finals and look forward to the state semifinals.
Hey, football fans, Christmas is right around the corner. We have the perfect gift for your high school football fan in your life. Friday Night Legends, the board game. With Friday Night Legends, you can play the greatest high school teams of all time against each other based on their real stats. That means you can play the 1989 Odessa Permian Panthers of Friday Night Lights fame against the 2017 Mater Day team and really see who's the better team. Or what about Peyton Manning's Newman High School in New Orleans against Trevor Lawrence's Cartersville, Georgia team? There are thousands of teams in the library from all over the United States. Get your copy of Friday Night Legends at BoardGameLegends.com and be the hero of Christmas morning.